line screaming like a siren at night. Red and blue shouting, nobody's right. Smoke in the streets, truth under attack. Everybody's loud, nobody's got facts. Feeds keep scrolling, nerves stay tight. Matchsticks flicked in the dead of night. They sell fear, cheap package the lies, while the clock keeps ticking, empires on fire. Can't sit quiet while the world's on edge. Lines in the sand, standing on the ledge. No script, no leash, no polish, quiet. Just a voice in the dark and a spark to the wire. This is and I'll bring the fire. Gonna light it higher. No filter, no fear, I say it raw. Strike the match, let it burn through the fog. This is and I'll bring the fire. And I'll bring the fire. Everybody's selling truth like a brand, buying opinions they don't understand. Talking in circles, screaming online. Keyboard courage, borrowed spines. Yeah, power plays dressed up as peace. Same old wolves with different teeth. But silence is loud when the house is burning. And the fuse is short, yeah, it's still learning. I don't dance for the left or the right. I stand in the heat, I stand in the fight. No strings, no chains, no manufactured choir. Just gasoline thoughts and an open lighter. This is and I'll bring the fire. Gonna light it higher. No filter, no fear, I say it raw. Strike the match, let it burn through the fog. This is and I'll bring the fire. And I'll bring the fire. World's on tilt, pressure climbing. Truth don't whisper, it's perfect timing. You can't cancel the smoke, you can't stop flame. Say my name when it hits, say my name. Why? Say my name. Say my name. Fire don't ask permission. Fire don't need a side. Fire just shows up honest and exposes the lie. This is and I'll bring the fire. Truth is harder. Burn it down till what's real survives. No smoke, no mirrors, just heat and lies. And I'll bring the fire. And I'll bring the fire. American fire. Strike it. Let it speak.
They said MAGA was dead. Marjorie Taylor Greene last night. It's dead, y'all. It's dead. MAGA's dead. And yet, MAGA destroyed it tonight. Welcome, guys, to American Fire. I am Ace. And we have quite the night for you guys tonight. What a win. A rousing win of primaries. President Trump just absolutely dominated tonight with his endorsements. MAGA in general just slayed it, and I am what a day. It couldn't be even any better. I mean, literally one day after Marjorie had to go and say her craziness last night, and so I just love it so much. Woo! So we're going to go through that tonight, the absolute bloodbath in Indiana. All the guys who decided to stand up to President Trump and not redistrict. Trump called them out and won massively. We're going to go through that election, and it was across the board, Ohio as well, just sweep, an absolute sweep. And on top of that, the FAGA group, the America First grifter types, they got a whole new PSYOP going on. It must be because they know they're getting creamed in the other PSYOP, and after tonight especially proves it. But they got a whole new PSYOP going on. We're going to cover that tonight as well. We got Kash Patel in an excellent interview with Sean Hannity. I got to say, Sean Hannity kind of making a comeback. kind of a goober for years. I couldn't stand him, but his last few this like one-on-one interview thing he's doing he's just getting fantastic stuff out of it. So Kash opens up. We get some great insights into what's coming. And on top of that, we got Trump, just all kinds of crazy stuff with Iran, the economy, showing great numbers. Whew, it's a good night to be MAGA. Who is blackpilling? I don't even want to talk to anybody blackpilling anymore, because tonight just showed us we have massive momentum for the midterms, and it is not going to be what they say it is. If we're doing this when Trump's at his least popular, I'm doing the Dr. Evil thing, least popular, he's freaking unpopular, Mr. Bigglesworth. If we're doing this now, just wait. But one thing's for sure, the grifter crowd has zero influence after tonight, and it is fully proven. I love it so much. So good show tonight, exciting show, lots to get to, and I'm stoked to get through it, guys. But first, before we get started, please hit that like. Take that 1 second. Smash that like, smash the subscribe if you're new. Would love to have you be a part of the show, and get in the chat, hit me up, try to tag me with questions, comments, talk with each other. The community's amazing. Moderators keep the trolls out, so it's a great place to be. And speaking of the chizat, let's get in there. Let's say hey to some folks. I'm going to hit up Rumble first tonight. We got Sidler Henry, Lochtefeld, AZ Tropic, I Love Music, None of Y'all Business, all over there holding down it on the fort on Rumble. Congrats to you guys for making it early. We got on YouTube, Big B, Numero Uno, Seth Littero, Dos, Alan Hunt, Trace, and Oscar, Andres Morales, Armand Olafonte, Wago Waco, Jay Tyrus, Toe Cramp, Cass Sink, Uncle Andy, Roger Fishes. What's going on, my brother? Churches Behena. Well, that's Churches Behena. That's a tough one to say, but I'm doing my best. Gen X MAGA, Franny Pants. Oscar says he's becoming addicted to the live stream. Mary Lynn, Kathy Wood, blah, blah, blah. Candace Morrison, what's up? And Feisty Grandma rounding out, who I can get to tonight, because, gosh, guys, there's so many of you. I love it. Welcome to the show. Blow it up, guys. Blow it up and hit it up, like I said. So as always, guys, no blackpilling. I mean, you're allowed to blackpill as long as you're respectful. We're just going to laugh at you. But you are allowed to disagree respectfully and honorably in the chat. But if you're going to be a douche, if you're going to be a jerk, we're going to boot you. Yeah, no trolls in this chat. We don't allow it. So the mods are watching. They know what I don't like to have in here. And we're definitely not putting up with it. So, but hit it up. Love to have the discussion. The chat is the best in the world. Great people, and you'll enjoy it here. We are a festive familia. And also I do we go segments for those who are new, and in between I do stop, make time for the chat, because I like the chat. I like to be a part of what's going on in the community. So, all right, let's get started. We got to get into it. Oops. First of all, happy Cinco de Mayo. Bringing back a golden oldie. Trump, Cinco de Mayo 2016. I love this post, and I'll never not love it. It is the funniest thing ever. Happy Cinco de Mayo. The best taco bowls are made in Trump Tower Grill. I love Hispanics. I mean, we're never going to have another one. He is the absolute best. This is one of my favorite golden oldies from Cinco de Mayo 2016, 10 years ago. That's how long and a little bit longer we've been getting the joy of Donald Trump in his house, in America's his house, leading this country. And this was candidate Trump, not yet president. And my God, he's just the break, but just the best. And man, that does look good. That is a taco salad for the ages there, friends. We've got to go to Trump Tower, get the Hispanics to make us a good bowl of taco salad. Yeah, gonna be great. I'm sold. And then on top of that, today, Cinco de Mayo, he unleashes the nice National Immigration and Customs Enforcement logo. Oh man, the nice agents are coming for you. I love it. This is just the best. It doesn't get better than this, folks. I'm sorry. Oh, enjoy it while we got it, because someday we're not going to have a fun president again. I mean, we could still have a great president, but they're never going to be this fun. So enjoy it while you got it, because this is a one-time deal. Okay, let's get into it. Wow, what a night for Republicans. This was a massive, not Republicans, excuse me, MAGA Republicans, the real Republicans. This is just another example that, friends, we have taken over the party. These were the senators tonight up for re-election in state senators up for re-election in Indiana who crossed President Trump when it came to redistricting Indiana to get us a couple more seats for the midterms. They failed. They put their thumb up at Trump, and he called them out, and we just wipe the floor with them. One survived out of all of these. MAGA took over Indiana tonight, friends. And this is what I was talking about last night, that it's primaries. The primaries are where you vote your conscience. The primaries are where we kick out the RINOs. That's where we do it. And this was a perfect example of that. If you campaign, if you show up, if you energize in the primaries, we purge. We purge in the primaries, and that, my friends, is where we get the real deals in. So this was massive. These guys, being Indiana, they will win almost guaranteed in the general election, beating the Democrats left standing. This is no longer a uniparty state. It is MAGA red. So the projections of MAGA's doom were a little premature, I gotta say. The internet, MAGA is dead. Marjorie Taylor Greene, MAGA is dead last night. Real life, 6 Republican incumbents lose because they were primaried by Donald J. Trump. Trump endorsed the challengers against the Indiana reps who refused to redistrict and knocked out 4 of them. Actually, now it's 6. Only one survived the primary. Over 20 wins tonight with 1 loss. That's across the board in all the states. 20-1 MAGA. What happened to MAGA's dead? What happened to we're finished with you. It's going to be America First candidates only. Owens, Schroyer, Nick Fuentes, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, you name it, down the aisle. Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly. They've all turned on us, and they just got their butts whooped because they don't know. They're not really one of us. And MAGA is so much smarter, so much better than this, and they're just going to continue to fail as we continue to win. This is not only exciting for tonight, this is energizing for the midterms. This will have repercussion effects. Just wait until I show you how things are starting to turn, because, guys, the momentum is back. It's back, and I have a feeling that going forward, it's just going to get better. So Tucker and Candace's viewership is what's really dead, not MAGA. I love that post. So listen to this. Listen to this breakdown here. This win is even bigger than it looks like on the surface.
State senators who defied him and helped defeat his redistricting effort there last year. Let's get right to CNN's Jeff Zeleny for the latest on what you are hearing and where things stand right now.
This guy looks so
President
stunned.
Trump has been seeking revenge, and tonight he is getting it. He has had a successful effort in at least 3 of the Indiana State Senate primary races, and one of the Trump challengers has failed. So right now the scorecard that the White House is watching very carefully is 3-1, and the Trump-backed candidates is leading in the other 2. What are we talking about here? Why are we talking about the Indiana State Senate? Because the senators, the Republicans, who have served for nearly 20 years, each one of them who lost, voted
20
against
years.
the
Look at the
president's
numbers.
redistricting plan last December.
Not even close.
They said that they did not believe it was appropriate to redraw those maps. The White House has said, we are going to throw you out of office, and that is what is happening this evening. It was a dramatic campaign, millions of dollars spent, and the White House is winning this revenge war, if you will, tonight. Only one non-Trump backed challenger, Senator Greg
30
Good,
points.
is holding on. His race was a bit peculiar. He was running against two people named Wilson, but he is holding on. So for the White House tonight, one bit of good news in this challenging midterm election year, John.
Yeah. Somewhere
Even in the
political
three-way, they
strategists
won by
making their money
18
tonight
points.
for putting two people named Wilson on the same ballot.
Did you guys hear what he said? Some of these guys have been there for nearly 20 years. Do you know how hard it is to knock out an incumbent who's been there for 20 years? That's 20 years of name recognition, 20 years of fundraising, 20 years of getting embedded in all the organizations around, 20 years of making friends and relationships in their capital. 20 years. That's embedded. That's deep state, baby. That's uniparty, getting in there, getting all up in there. And we just wiped them out by like a minimum of 15 points. It was a bloodbath. It wasn't close. It was destruction. Again, 20 years. I don't know if you guys understand that, because that is like a crazy. Those of us who are hardcore about politics, been following it for decades, like me, who are obsessed with this stuff. That's a big deal. That is a big BFG, a big effing deal. So, and not only that, just how we whomped them. Tucker promoted 5 of these candidates. One dropped out. Another came in 6th. Pooch, which we'll get to him in a minute, the guy in Ohio, lost to Vivek. Fishback in Florida is going to get destroyed. And he's at 6%. And Thomas Massey is the last one. Tucker's about to go 5 for 5 in losses. By the way, this is a very bad night for Thomas Massey. You better believe that man is terrified right now. Terrified. Because what he just saw is that the MAGA wave is taking over the Republican Party. Again, friends, vote. Vote in primaries. They matter. That's where we get our people. Because if they don't make it through the primaries, we got to vote for the RINOs, because the RINOs are still better than the Democrats, like 50 times better. It's not close. And they still suck. That's how bad Democrats are. But again, this is where we win, and we just proved it tonight. Step up, knock them down. Primaries matter. Now, here's this Casey Putsch guy who was running against Vivek. He's awful. He's the America First candidate that was backed by Tucker, Fuentes. What's his face? It's escaping me right now. But backed by several of the faggot grifters. Okay, several of them. He was their guy, going to prove it to him. The Owen Schroyer types. Yeah, this is the real one. Well, he just hates Trump. He absolutely hates Trump. And I've said it. We talked about this in my last live show. I'm no fan of Vivek. He's got his issues. Absolutely. I don't think Vivek is super MAGA. I really don't. But I'll tell you this. I think Vivek will absolutely cow to Trump. Vivek will absolutely give in to what the Republican base wants. He will, because that guy just mostly cares about power. I don't think he has super passionate beliefs any which way. And so I understand the criticism of him. But in Ohio, if you think Vivek was going to be worse than this guy, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. This guy's a douchebag. And so, but who could have seen he was going to get lost and lose in a humiliating landslide? He spent the entire primary acting if he was campaigning to become co-host of Candace Owens' podcast. That is an indictment, friends, of the grifter sphere. Okay? It's an indictment of the grifter sphere. These folks are awful. They are awful, and MAGA hates them. There is, like, all these people now, and obviously we're going to have a big old grifter report tonight. But I got to tell you, they have nothing anymore. They thought they were going to turn MAGA. MAGA just showed up and gave them the middle finger. Anybody they endorse is dead now. And Massey is going to be the big test, obviously. Massey's been the one who is really, he's got the crossover appeal. He's had the most people duped. But I got to tell you, the worst thing that happened to Massey is that he started showing his true colors a little bit too soon. And a little bit too many people are now woken up before the primaries. And I think Massey might lose. I think it's 50-50 right now. But listen, 50-50 is a big flipping deal because Thomas Massey should run away with it 80-20. It should be that because he was that popular. He's never had a close race. And we showed last week how he's kissing up to Trump now. That tells you exactly where he's at. Trump is the Republican Party. And there is no after Trump. He is the kingmaker. And unless he chooses a successor, they're never going to take over. This is a big slap. John Thune tonight is terrified because John Thune has been holding out, hoping we'd lose the midterms so that Trump would become a lame duck and possibly wait it out so a establishment Republican could come back in 2028 and he'd get his precious Senate back the way he wants it. But this, my friends, is horrific for anybody who's establishment Republican. They just lost one of the last states they still held because most states are mostly MAGA now. Most of the red states are MAGA. Indiana was one of the last ones holding out. It was one of the last ones with a very strong establishment wing, and it just got decimated. It's beautiful. So let's talk. Matt Forney has this great post tonight about Vivek. Like, Vivek beat him by 70 points. 70 points. This is how little influence they have. Again, Vivek isn't even awesome. He's not. He talks really well, but he's got serious issues that I don't like either. He wouldn't be my first choice anywhere. But that tells you how pathetic these people are in the America First grifter crowd, that they can't even get close to Vivek. At least Vivek talks the game. At least he knows how to play the MAGA game, and which means he's going to be stuck with them. Because this is the other thing. For those in Ohio a little bit worried about Vivek, I'll tell you this. Vivek sees how bad or how big he just won. And he knows it was a MAGA wave, so he also knows that if he crosses MAGA, he's done. That should actually make you guys feel a lot better right there. So he says, we need to talk about the retard right and why they fail. Pains me to say this as I like Casey, believe he had genuinely good ideas. I can't believe he likes him, but he's just wrong. But don't attack Trump. Image of Casey Pudge burning his MAGA hat, doomed him right out of the gate. I don't care how disappointed you are, how many black pills Tucker and Nick fed you. Trump is the Republican Party. He runs the show. You need his blessing or at least his neutrality to get anywhere. 100%. As everybody, I've been saying it nonstop, guys, you bailing on Trump, you're going to end up losing. He's the only way we get to victory. And good, because he's winning. He's doing all kinds of stuff, but this is such a wake-up call tonight. I'm thriving. Can you see how energized I am after tonight? I know it's a primary. It's a primary in freaking Indiana. Like, I don't go to Indiana. I've been there twice in my life, and it was 20 years ago. I don't have anything to do with Indiana. But everybody watching tonight knew it's an earthquake. Nobody expected this. And we're going to talk more about that in a little bit as well. Nobody expected this. People actually thought that they were starting to win over MAGA. They were starting to beat MAGA into the ground. They were starting to divide them. They actually believed the lies. And this is why I exist. This is why I do my show, so that you guys don't get to believe the lies. Nobody gets to believe it here. I am the narrative breaker. That's what I do. And I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to build myself up, but I am trying to say that my entire main reason for doing my show is because I'm good at smelling the BS, and I want to share what I see. And if you followed me, you would have understood that this was probably going to happen. And this is validation tonight, and it should be white pilling a whole bunch of you guys. Majority of Republicans, Casey need to win over, support Trump. There's no constituency for being based in anti-Trump. It's a less popular position than Liz Cheneyism. He should have apologized to him. Even Thomas Massey has started to pivot, which is absolutely true. Get off social media. Vivek is an incredibly weak candidate. I agree with this. Off-putting in person, has deep contempt for white Americans, wants to flood Ohio with Indians. All bad. All terrible. I agree. He should be easy to knock over. 100% true. What did Casey do? He hit the streets, post ads telling Ohioans Vivek hates them, wants to replace them. That should have been the front and center of everything he did. No, he kept posting about how AI told him Israel's satanic. You guys, you can't, like, this is making people so stupid, these PSYOPs. And by the way, before the news came out tonight that was so big and gave me a whole bunch to talk about, I was going to do a whole show on PSYOPs and breaking them down, and this is going to be one of them. But it's in the bag. I got it in my back pocket. We'll use it one of these nights. But he kept wading into Epstein and went to this also, this is a great point right here. Hey, guess what, guys? MAGA doesn't care about Trump and Epstein. Sit on that one for a second. All that stuff we've been being fed that, I get it all the time in my feed. Oh, but Trump's a pedo. I've totally lost me over Epstein. Okay. You're one of 1,000. And out of the other 1,000, 999 of them just trust Trump. You guys think because you're on Discord that you're in the majority. You're not. The rest of us just believe, like, and I've done hours and hours of dozens of hours on Epstein. Trump's been proven to be innocent, but people still don't believe it because they get in these deep, dark circles. The internet's not real, folks. But evidence is he went to anti-Semitic Fire Fest, shared a stage with a fat anchor baby in a Muslim hijab who openly hate white Americans, and that is way worse than anything Vivek's done. Anyways, he just goes on and just really breaks it down so well. But anyways, this guy got destroyed. He got absolutely schmammered, and deservedly so. For all my issues with Vivek, he knows not to bite the hand. He knows not to bite the hand, and that will keep him in check ultimately as well. Because you better believe Trump owns Vivek. He owns him. He won't let Vivek do too much stupid stuff. Now this is interesting. So Ryan Gudersky reports that tonight a reporter told me everyone in the industry was looking forward to writing the story of how Trump's influence has faded. I love it so much. You know what this says? This says that the reporters, the media, was even buying their own lies. They actually believe we care what Tucker Carlson says. The media actually thought that Candace Owens was changing MAGA. They actually believed it, that Dave Smith had any influence over us whatsoever. And they're doing their little blue sky messages back and forth saying, oh, MAGA's dying. Look what they're saying now. Look what Tucker said. Look what they're doing. Oh my God, Trump's falling apart. And they just all got a huge wake-up call. Watch after this, reporting on the midterms is going to be a little less confident. They're going to start playing it a little safer because they got real scared tonight. They got real scared. They started to underestimate Trump again. They started to believe their own hype, and it fell right back on them. And you can't love it enough. So here's Trump talking about tonight, just setting his warning in place when he was asked about these guys before tonight's election.
It's funny because I won Indiana all 3 times by a landslide, and I wasn't working on it very hard. Would have been nice. I think we would have picked up 2 seats if we did that. You had one gentleman, the head of the Senate, I guess, Bray, whatever his name is. I heard he was against it. He'll probably lose his next primary, whatever that is. I hope he does, but because he's done a tremendous disservice. I mean, think of it. It's a great place. I love the people there. They love me. We won in a landslide all 3 times. Got tremendous votes. I got record votes. And then there's no reason for doing that. And the Democrats do it to us, so I can't imagine that they do it. But I wasn't very much involved. But there's a man named Bray, as I guess, head of the Senate. Was that Bray? The name Bray? I mean, I'm sure that whenever his primary is, it's I think in 2 years, but I'm sure he'll go down. He'll go down. I'll certainly support anybody that wants to go against him.
He's the prophet. I love it so much. But you hear what he said. He knows Trump knows his people. He knows the people of Indiana. He knew that they were not on board with this. And it's so incredible the power this man still wields. He completely owns the party. And the people, well, again, this proves the people still trust Trump. The people of Indiana tonight had a chance. And that's MAGA country. So if MAGA's divided, this would have been the canary in the coal mine. Indiana had a chance tonight to give a big middle finger to Donald Trump and say, we're done with you. We want balance. You took us into Iran. You said you want to do wars, blah, 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 all the talking points. You're owned by Israel, all the talking points from the grifters. They could have believed it, thrown it at him, and we would have seen it tonight, and we would have said, oh, my God, the midterms are going to be ugly. This is bad. But instead, we got the opposite. MAGA's energized. We're fully behind Trump. The polls that show MAGA's support for Trump at 90, 100%, they're all true. And tonight proved it. Because elections prove it. That's the proof. The proof is in the pudding. Well, that was tonight. Tonight proved that all of that stuff. Rich Barris and Robert Barnes out there saying, oh, MAGA's so mad at Trump. Don't believe these polls. CNN's just saying that so that you guys get comfortable. Blah, blah, blah. Rich Barris looking all sweaty and swollen. I don't know how many whiskeys he's had. Robert Barnes just getting fatter by the day as he eats 5 pizzas from Little Caesars every night. I don't know what that guy's doing, but he is a blimp, and it just keeps getting bigger. His beard's starting to fall off. But I'm just being mean now. Sorry, that was a low blow. Sorry, Robert Barnes, not sorry. Start telling the truth, my friend, and I won't be so mean. But the point is, they were telling us these polls are fake, that MAGA is not energized, and it's completely proved them wrong tonight. I love it. Bill O'Reilly. God bless Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly, the no spin zone, and when he got fired, he got let go. He had that crazy blow up. We found out what an arrogant, jerk he was, all this stuff. And, he always kind of was right leaning, but but I got to tell you what, something happened to Bill O'Reilly in the last 5-10 years, and he became MAGA. This guy is all in, and he has his finger on the pulse in a lot of ways. But listen to what he said about this election leading up to it.
Is there room for Republicans to move away from Trump?
No. That's the answer to that question. No.
No.
He's the ship.
Carroll's wrong.
You're either going to sail with it or go down with it. What Rove is talking about is that he wants the individual people running.
You hear what he said? He's countering Karl Rove, the mastermind of George Bush, the Bushy, the guy who is desperately trying to get the Bush wing back in control of the Republicans, seeding the narrative that Trump is weak, Republicans want something else, and Bill O'Reilly's just knocking this argument down.
For office in November, to be better campaigners, to connect with the voters in an emotional way. And of course, that would be best for the Republican Party if that were to happen. But if you think that you can cut loose the most charismatic populist president in the last 50 years, you're crazy. You can't. And if you try, you're going to get slaughtered.
Is there...
He called it. If you try, you're going to get slaughtered. That's exactly what happened tonight, and now we know for sure. So after tonight, we have all this momentum. Well, then the Supreme Court also today delivered us even more momentum as they told Louisiana to go do your map right now. You got 3 days, basically. Well, the Democrats are freaking out, and so the NAACP with this Robinson against in the Louisiana case, they've asked the Supreme Court to recall its judgment striking down the congressional map, indicating they'll seek rehearing of the case. They're trying to get it delayed so Louisiana can't redistrict. The legal games are starting to be played, friends, because the Democrats can see what's coming. The smart ones who actually are paying attention, not just listening to what's online, they are freaked out. They know that the massive momentum has hit the Republican Party, the MAGA sphere of the Republican Party. The momentum has been hitting now. It really started about 3 weeks ago. It's just been cresting. It's getting bigger and bigger, and they can see the writing on the wall. They missed their chance, and so they're already starting to scramble, and this is one of the first signs of it. Fetterman, we talked about him the other night. Well, he is coming out and saying the communist takeover of the Democratic Party. This is one of the guys who, when he first came in, he rose to prominence as one of the biggest Democrats on the stage nationally. That people loved him. Remember his hoodies and his basketball shorts. What a cool guy. What a cool guy. He's not wearing a suit. He's like a regular guy. They loved him, and now he's the one speaking sense, saying that the Democrats aren't even the Democrats anymore. This is terrible for the Democratic brand, who's already extremely low heading into the midterms. It says the main races and an outlier, socialist and far-left mayors already run some of America's biggest cities. This is straight out of Fetterman's mouth. So again, the writing is starting to show up on the wall for Democrats. They are freaked. This blue wave is not going to happen. It doesn't mean they still don't have advantages going into the midterms, because historically they do. Historically, in purple states right now with a lot of independents, yeah, Trump's underwater right now, but there's time. And the Democrats have not been able to take the lead they needed to. They're losing. They're losing people they shouldn't be losing. So right here, a recent poll says Dems are doing what was once impossible, losing white millennials by 11%. Whites and Gen Z are likely to resemble Gen X within a decade. Remember, you get more conservative as you get older. That is the tradition. It's not perfect, but for the most part, you get more conservative as you get older. Why? Because life hits you. You actually got a budget. You actually got to work hard, and you realize, oh, I don't want them taking all my taxes. Oh, I don't want that guy over there getting money for nothing. And it turns you. It wakes you up. Well, among whites right now, Gen Z is tied. 18 to 29. You know that's massive? It's always, the kids are so liberal. Well, not white kids. It's half and half. That's huge. I guarantee you about 70 to 80% of these are women on the blue. But you go up, millennials, 10% red now. And it just gets more. Gen X, man, they're based. And even the boomers are pretty red at this point. So huge. Absolutely huge. And what's happening is it's cresting. This is increasing. And so if they're already here, they're also not having babies. So they're not going to be bringing up more. The demographics are shifting. I'm telling you guys, like what you're seeing right now in the Democratic Party, this is the strongest the Democratic Party is going to be. The next 2 to 3 years will be the strongest the Democratic Party is going to be for the next 20, 30 years. Because cultural shifts like this, that's a big boat to turn. That doesn't turn fast. That's a slow-moving ship, especially when you're just now entering the success range, where we're about to enter what Reagan hit in like 84 when the economy boomed. That gave that shifted the country right for almost 20 years, but not as far right as it's going now. It's going to be even more so. What had to happen for it to shift back left was the absolute failure of the Bush presidency. So, and that's what ushered in Obama and Biden and got us into this mess where we were, I mean, it was already bad, folks. Don't get me wrong, but that accelerated things so much. Well, this is the opposite. We're defeating them more so than we've seen in 100 plus years. And this is going to open up the door for red, baby. Red, red, red ahead. And as Indiana just proved, it's not old Republican. It's not establishment Republican red. It's MAGA red taking over this country. It's absolutely massive. Oh, and then in Virginia, they're starting to panic. Here's Dan Turrentine, one of the only decent Democrats in the world. I got to say, I actually like Dan as a person, even though I strongly disagree with him. He's a decent dude, especially for a media Dem. But listen to him talking about Virginia.
Well, I talked to some of those same people yesterday, and what I was told is they now think it's less than 50% that the court will let the certification go through. And what really triggered it, they said, was when the court didn't rule by Friday afternoon. The time they don't believe is on their side. And what apparently transpired over the weekend, and this person would know, they're in contact with the people I'm about to say, is that the governor's staff is now snipping at the Senate Majority Leader and House Speaker that they warned them last fall this would not pass legal review. Well, I talked to some
Democrat panic in Virginia, guys. All the signs are pointing that it is going to get struck down. They will lose those 4 seats. That's massive because gaining those 4 seats was part of their offset to the Republican redistricting. So if that doesn't go through, because that was like our big loss, right? Electoral loss in this year, the Virginia election. And now it might not even stand. The Democrats can't win. I expect this to be struck down in the next week or so. We're going to get the news. It's going to be epic. And all of a sudden we got 4 more seats back. This is absolutely huge. Now look at this. Look what happens if it's struck down. Democrats go down 4. 1 goes a toss-up, 3 to Republicans. But all of a sudden Republicans are favored to win the House. Friends, if you've been blackpilling, you started blackpilling way too soon because we just about evened the score, got the odds to 50-50 in a blue to maybe even +7 to put it at 218, which that's the House, baby. That's the House. We could get a locked-in win before the economy's even turned, before Trump is finished with Iran, before any of this momentum has happened policy-wise. We could already lock in to be strong favorites to hold the House. And that, my friends, is about as devastating as anything could happen to the Democrats. So again, Trump, his whole gut instinct to push for redistricting in all these states, it's absolutely turning out right. It didn't look good for a while. It was a fight, especially as California and Virginia shifted, and these other states all tried to mess around. But again, Trump, the man was right. Always trust Trump, and that, friends, will keep leading us to victory. I think at this point, I feel I'm giving us a 65% chance to win the House as of tonight. We'll see what happens if Virginia upholds the map. Then we'll go back down to 50-50. But for now, I'm thinking they strike it down. I'm saying we're 65% chance to hold the House, and I actually feel really good about it. Guys, we're winning, and tonight is a good night. Tonight's a really good night. Go MAGA. All the momentum's on our side. MAGA's not dead. MAGA's thriving and just growing, and tonight proved it. All right. If you guys enjoyed that, if you're learning anything, if you're feeling a little white pill, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thank you for watching. I definitely got a lot more coming up here. We have to get into this massive, disastrously ridiculous new PSYOP being pushed by Candace, Owens, Nick Fuentes, and the crew. So we'll be getting into that next. But that was a long segment, so I want to take a break and get into the chat. I think I saw a super chat, so I want to make sure, absolutely sure I call that one out. Trish Coe with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Trish. I greatly appreciate you. She didn't even want a comment or a question, just supporting the channel. Well, thank you, Trish. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Listen, if you want to become a member, if you really like this chat room, if you want more content, if you want to be able to talk to me in the Discord 24/7, reach out and be a part of this community. Check out in the description. There's a link to Patreon. Click that link. You get a month for free. An entire month is my gift to you. Try it out for a month. Try it out. See if you like the community. See if you like the extra content. Starting next Monday, I'm going to be a lot more free to build out this membership. So there's going to be classes coming. There's going to be more members lives than ever before. I'm really going to build it out with a big focus on the membership. So it's a great time to try it out. So go in the description right now on Rumble and YouTube. If you're on X, you can go to the pinned post on my profile, click the Patreon link, and try it out and see what you guys think. We'd love to get to know you in there. All right. Let me get through here real quick and see what else I missed before we moved on. Geronimo says the community is great. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. You know what? I always wanted this to be a community first, because it's the best way to do it, right? It's about the people, and I never want to be one of those people. Listen, my show has been tiny for a long time. What you guys are seeing tonight with 700 people watching, I did 3 years where like 150 was a good night. So this is massive. I'm shocked at the growth. It's amazing. I'm blessed. I do want more because I want to be able to keep doing this and getting better. And the more people who watch, the more time I can devote to it. But also, guys, it's always about the people. It's the community that kept me going, and that's what it's all about. I'm never going to be somebody who just sits on an ivory tower and talks down to people. I'm not that person. I've been working full time, supporting my family, doing this show on my hobby at night for almost 3.5 years. You know, so I love this community, and it matters to me. Thank you, Trish. That's very sweet of you to say. Sure, you'll get all the members' lives, but Patreon's where you really want to be, because that's where I'll post the classes and also where you'll get Discord access. So remember, the Patreon is the better choice, but there's nothing wrong with the YouTube membership because it's cheaper for a reason, but you don't get the Discord access. Seth says, what do I think about people listening to AI and changing into faggots worse than COVID as far as people changing? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Do you think people are listening to AI and it's changing their beliefs? Is that what you're saying? I really don't worry about that, to be honest. People are always going to find information in weird places. AI is just like Google. It's just something where, like, people are going, eventually people are going to figure out, we're in the introductory phase of AI right now. So there's a little higher trust than there'll be later. It'll work itself out, in my opinion. I'm really not that worried about it. I'm not. I work with AI all the time. So thank you, guys. A lot of people being really nice. Thank you so much. Jay says, when I switch to days, you'll still watch me despite Joel Murray on the same time. Well, thank you. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you. I do. Thanks for watching. And yes, next week I'll be starting my noon lives. It'll be much different. So AI does lean left, but can I tell you guys a secret? If you tell AI, especially ChatGPT, Claude, and Grok, you can go into your settings and you can tell it. You can say, I want you to use a right-wing perspective or a center-right perspective when you talk to me. I've built out my AI, so my AI is all right-wing, and I trained it. You can train the AI to undo the left. You can, and that's the thing about AI. It's a tool, and you can make it what you want it to be. My ChatGPT is super right-wing. Yeah, it's what you make it. It starts left because that's how they programmed it, but guess what? You can train it, and then it becomes what you want it to be. I've worked with AI for thousands of hours at my job. I know exactly how to fix this stuff, and I'll probably do a members live at some point teaching everybody how to train their AI to get you the truth. But if you're doing research, I'll tell you, use Grok. Grok will be the best for giving you fair and balanced stuff. I would not use ChatGPT for AI or for research unless you're asking like about health stuff or really basic stuff. But if you're researching politics or history, you want to use Grok. Okay? But yeah, I'll tell you how to train your AI. Yeah, like how to train your dragon, except I'll call it how to train your AI. It's really not hard. Just most people don't know how to do it. MFN says, anyone want to reverse grift? Start an anti-Trump channel, then flip to pro-Trump? That would be awesome. But it'd only work if you really got a lot of supporters. That would be really fun. So yeah, that'd be great stuff. Anyways, okay. You guys are hilarious. Let's get into it. Who's ready for the grifter report? I got a big grifter report tonight. There is a lot of stuff over here. Okay. A lot of stuff to get through tonight. So today in grifter land, I just found this video. So first of all, we're going to talk about this PSYOP that is now starting where they're all trying to get us to switch and think a new way. And you can see it because they've all decided to do it at the same time. And I'm going to show you guys that in just a second. But first, I thought it'd be a lot of fun to watch this recap of Tucker's New York Times interview, the disastrous interview. And I got to tell you guys, this is pretty good. This is pretty accurate. Let's watch this guy because he just makes me laugh.
I want to talk about your relationship with the president and where it stands currently. When was the last time you were in the Oval Office?
Just a few months ago. I went to the Oval Office. I had gone several times, actually, like a lot.
And what did you see when you were there?
You know, everybody knows this, but I'll just confirm it. Like, Bibi had been in there before me, and he probably had a gun to Trump's head.
Really?
Like an actual gun, like a loaded weapon.
You're saying Benjamin Netanyahu had a gun to his head?
And he had Donald Trump in a chokehold, and I know that Donald Trump had a wrestling background. He was involved at one point in the WWE, but clearly that didn't matter, at all. And Bibi had a gun to his head and said, "We're going to Iran. We're doing this." And Trump was like, "No."
And you saw this with your own eyes?
I mean, Washington insiders know this. They know this.
Wait, so this happened or didn't happen?
I mean, I wasn't in the room, but I imagine it was something like that was going on. I mean, you don't go to Washington multiple times without trying to influence the president for your agenda.
But you went. I'm sorry, I'm confused. Okay, well, what is your assessment of President Trump currently?
Well, I attempted to communicate with the president. I went outside into the forest and I screamed, "Don't do it!" I don't know if that was effective. I don't know if he heard. I don't know if he could hear me, but I certainly tried to do that. I did. I think it's possible Donald Trump might be a wizard.
What?
I do believe that. I do.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the last time I was at the Oval Office, I walked in, and at one point the chief of staff looked at me, and Donald Trump himself looked at me. He said, "You shall not pass." And I thought, that's not our president. That's Gandalf. Gandalf the White. And there's nothing wrong with being white, by the way. I say that as a white person, as a man, as a Christian. But Trump might be a wizard.
And so I understand you correctly. What you're saying is you literally believe President Donald Trump might be Gandalf from Lord of the Rings?
I don't know. But we should be able to ask those questions, I think.
Okay, moving on. What is your current relationship with Turning Point USA?
Well, I've always loved TPUSA. I've loved the organization. I've headlined many times. They didn't ask me to do it this year, and so that is what it is. But I've always participated in their events. I've never charged anything, by the way. I've always done it for free, and they always paid me a lot. So I...
And do you think TPUSA as an organization is in decline?
I haven't the faintest idea, but yes. I just have questions, legitimate questions. And the moment you ask questions, socialist, communist, anti-Semite, no. I just have legitimate questions. Like, what happened on Charlie Kirk? Should capital be taxed at half the rate of labor? What's Bibi Netanyahu's father's middle name? Or if a demon rapes you without protection, should you get checked for STDs? Because it's itchy.
Okay, tell me more about J.D. Vance.
Who is J.D. Vance?
J.D. Vance, the vice president?
I mean, I know J.D. are letters. I mean, they're letters J and D. I mean, J, people are going to say, "Oh, Nazi, J." But those are just letters to me. Those are just letters of the alphabet to me.
You're telling me you don't know who J.D. Vance is?
I literally don't know who that is. Those words have never come out of my lips, actually. I've never uttered those words ever, and I've never...
At look, I've watched you for years, okay? Way back during the cable news days when you had a show on...
What show?
Your television show.
I've never had a show, at all.
You had one of the highest rating television news programs?
I've literally never uttered words out of my lips on television, ever, that I can recall.
I'm talking about the years when you were on Fox.
What do you mean by Fox? Like the animal?
No, Fox News.
I'm sorry, I only know Fox the animal. I mean, I don't know what it sounds like, actually, at all.
What does the fox say? Tucker, are you okay?
I've never been on TV. I don't know what this is. Where are we? Who are you? Who am I? What is this? What is this? These are questions. I have questions. Who am I? I don't know Where are we?
We should take a break.
Why? I'm Jean Valjean.
I guess it's still going. Dang.
Why are you all wet, baby?
What is this?
Yes, he's here. How are the hallucinations?
Get out of here, Tucky. These people are all Christian Zionists.
You've been here, a patient of this institution.
I was molested by a demon in my sleep.
The dreams you have every night.
There were claw marks. There were.
And you've uncovered a conspiracy so that anything we tell you about who you are, what you've done, you can dismiss as lies.
Okay. Shut up, Nazi! I'm friends with J.D. Vance.
I've been hearing this fantasy for 2 years now. I know every detail.
I love that!
You're the most dangerous patient we have. Your crime is terrible, one you can't forgive yourself for, so you invented another self.
I totally agree.
Do you understand?
Oh my God. Believe it or not, I saved it, guys. I only watched the first 10 seconds earlier because I wanted to watch it live with you guys. That was unbelievable. I'm Jean Valjean. God almighty. Oh my God. That is so funny. That is so funny. Wow. Well, thanks for thanks for sharing the moment with me, guys. That was unbelievable. I'm gonna be showing that to everybody. Whoo. And a whoo. Oh my God, that was so funny. Oh, well, if you missed it the other night and we went through the disastrous interview and just how bad it was, there is here's a little clip from it, and Megyn Kelly trying to cover for Tucker and just how bad it was. But this is actually pretty pathetic by Megyn here. But watch this.
So Tucker sat down with Lulu, and Tucker handled himself, of course, very, very well.
Handled himself well. Here we go.
JD has been subject to, this is well known, but I'll just confirm it, nonstop treachery from people on the neoconservative side.
Who do you mean specifically?
You know, I don't know is the real answer. I don't know.
Was very deaf.
You know, you've been talking on your show about whether Trump is the Antichrist.
I have not said that.
On your show, you said, could this be the Antichrist?
I actually did not say, could this be the Antichrist?
Could this be the Antichrist?
I don't know where that comes from, but I know that those words never left my lips.
And any sort of would-be trap she was laying, he saw from a mile away.
The future that I imagine is not a future in which we're yelling at each other about race. It's a future in which people are legitimately revolutionary, maybe even violent.
You said in our previous interview, the future that I imagine is not a future in which we're yelling at each other about race. It's a future in which people are legitimately revolutionary, maybe even violent.
I'm amazed that you have a tape of me saying that, and I just want to disavow it.
You're accusing people of treachery, so I'm wondering.
Well, I know there's been a lot of treachery, for sure, and I know they were so mad about JD getting that job. I mean,
Who's they?
It's hard to really know.
This is me looking skeptical.
Yeah, well, no, but it's me being honest. Like, I don't really know.
And Tucker handled himself, of course, very, very well.
I don't know where that comes from. I'm amazed that you have a tape of me saying that. I'll just confirm it.
Wow. I mean, this interview is not going away. It is not going away. I mean, this is why MAGA blew up so big tonight, guys, because this is the kind of thing that's just falling apart. They are falling apart, and this is the problem for them. Tucker was the guy out of all the grifters, whether it was Candace, Nick Fuentes, Ian Carroll, Robert Barnes, Owen Schroyer, Megyn Kelly, Alex Jones. Tucker was the guy. He was the one that built the most trust with MAGA. He had gotten the furthest in, given a speech at the RNC convention, standing with Trump when he got elected on election night. He was in, and he blew it. And he didn't even only blow it. I mean, it's pretty clear now that he was in to try and break us from the inside. I mean, that's pretty clear at this point by the guess he had, but he was slow walking it. And everybody who's been watching this show for a while will know that there was a while there I was like, I just don't know with Tucker, man. It's like he's doing all this crazy stuff, but he's still talking to Trump. It looks like Trump trusts him. Like, that's how deep he got. He even got me. And he's fallen so far now that if Tucker falls and everybody's woken up to Tucker, it's nobody's trustworthy anymore. They're all of them. As soon as you turn on Trump now, you're out. There is no more grace period for anybody. There's no more long leash. That leash is short now, and it's because Tucker is the one who fell the hardest. He's fallen the hardest, and with him going all in after Iran, there's just no coming back. Well, they're trying to come back, and they're trying to seed a different narrative now. So this after all this is happening, they've launched a new PSYOP, and we're finally to this. The PSYOP has begun, and it's all of them. I mean, look at this. So Sean Ryan, Candace Owens, Ian Carroll. Sean Ryan, there's constant banter but few solutions. I had a lengthy discussion with Cenk, and while we might not agree on everything, I believe there's areas where people from different sides can come together. Candace, we need to continue to fix the fracture between left and right. We now know what true evil is. It's us against the Epstein class and warmongers. Ian Carroll, both sides are tricked into caricaturizing each other. The left thinks the whole right wing is Ted Cruz. The right thinks the whole left wing is Dylan Mulvaney. In reality, the vast majority of regular Americans on both sides are regular and reasonable people. They're trying to cozy up to the left now. They're trying to cozy up to the left because they realize they are out on the right. And this is the language where they're going to pull with them whatever independence they still have. And now they're trying to cozy into the left. And now they're going to be able to say, look, like those people cast us out. They're the real evil ones. And this is a whole movement now to try to pull people over to the left and get this muddled middle. Now, this isn't going to hurt the left at all. The left is completely in lockstep. The left doesn't trust any of these people. This is them trying to get into the left and take anybody with them who they can while also trying to sound rational and maybe try to build some trust back. It's all coordinated. I mean, let's see, influencers ride on the relevance of issues only Trump's addressed, attack him to pull disillusioned viewers, lie to reinforce that demoralization, then direct their sad audience to join the enemy, forget the actual dangers of the left so we can fight abstractions together. Well, here's more of them. Some of these guys aren't as big, except Jake Shields is kind of big. But Tom Hennessy says, I propose a temporary alliance with the left, solely focused on ridding America of ZOG. I'm guessing that's Zionists. This guy was at a left-wing party recently, and we agreed on almost everything. Really? Jake Shields, the only way we're going to beat Zog is to unite with the left. We can fight them on their dumb shit later. Ian Carroll, Israel's the issue that will bring the left and right together in the middle of 28 and save America from this parasitic relationship. And then there's just Candace's thing I've already read. But isn't this incredible? It's in lockstep. They're all doing it. They're all starting to get there. Cynical Publius posts, do not lose sight of the fact the Ro Khanna Thomas Massie alliance is part of this effort to push a Marxist agenda as being bipartisan. Whether Massie understands that fact or not remains to be seen. He does, but this guy's much more gracious than I am. It's quite possible he understands but does not care because he's just that much of a toxic narcissist. And here's this, have you noticed, have the halal right, I love that, that's so good, halal right, has shifted its messaging to push coming together with the left. In this clip, they're talking about a new party. There won't be a new party. They're all full-blown leftists and are uniting with the left and our enemies. That is absolutely true. There is no uniting with the left. The left is insane. There is nothing there anymore. They are vapid. They are soulless. I'm not necessarily saying the people, but the ideas and the ideologies they've embraced are soulless. They're demonic. There is no uniting with this. You can't get close to it. So why push it? These people think that MAGA is so evil when we believe in traditional family and smaller government and all these things. The left is they're full on Marxists now. How can you unite with that? But if you didn't know it was a PSYOP before, if you didn't know these people were assets before, now you know. This is so bad. This is going to wake up a lot of people because this is where a lot of people, you cannot go this far. Candace said it yesterday, so the gay pizza delivery guy, that's Ian Carroll. Nick Fuentes has been saying it. Sean Glitzed, fat shank, and literally didn't agree with him once on a show because he's a gay race communist. If you don't see it, the op now, it's because you don't want to see it. That is 100% correct. And I've been saying that for a while now. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It is full. They've gone full in, guys. This is, there's no turning back now. I already think after Iran, they couldn't come back in. And maybe this is why they're going all out, because they just know there's no room for them there anymore. But this, guys, it's so many of them. So many of them. It's crazy. Nick Fuentes now, he's not even trying to hide it.
I care about affordability. I care about foreign interventions. I care about the border. I'm a non-woke moderate Democrat. I think the GOP needs to be destroyed. I think the corrupt criminal government of Trump needs to be slowed down. We need to impeach the orange. It's time to put this nigga in a peach. Trump needs to be placed inside of a crystal. He needs to be impeached. This fat orange, tiny hands needs to be impeached. And then in 28, no Vance, no Rubio. We have to burn down the whole party.
You hear what he said? I'm a moderate Democrat now. Went after Trump. And you hear what he said at the end? Listen, guys, this is where I think I get the strongest validation that I'm right about JD, because I get people to say, oh, JD is actually one of them. He's one of the bad guys. Then why do the bad guys hate him so much? I'm always saying that, like, why do they hate him so much? It makes no sense. They all hate JD. They're the ones pushing the narrative that a lot of you are still believing. The Whitney Webb Palantir nonsense that he's controlled by Peter Thiel, that's all a PSYOP, and these are the guys pushing it, and you're siding with them. When you push that narrative, when you believe JD's in that, you're actually siding with Nick Fuentes. So good luck with that. Hope it works out for you. It won't. Brian Cates says, destroy MAGA, abandon Trump now. Pull as much of the Trump base to the center, get back to business as usual. They've already failed, but they got to finish the ride. I don't envy them. Seth Dillon shared this. No punching right. We need unity without exceptions to defeat the left. Nick Fuentes calls himself moderate Democrat. Candace Owens, left-right unity, please spits conservatives. These are news stories trending on X. That's how big a deal this is. This PSYOP is moving. They're getting so many bots and people to share this that it's trending. Data Republican, one of the absolute geniuses in MAGA right now, says, I've been relatively quiet on the subject of right-wing influencers who defected from MAGA, but if they're actually proposing unity with left-wing populist movements, they're proposing unity with communists. That's the red line for me. They done screwed up bad. Even the people who weren't willing to get into it, the people who didn't want to do this, who didn't want to call out the grifters, who thought they'd just go away, this is bringing them out. And this just shows how strong MAGA is, guys. It shows our movement is here to stay, and they're all going to have to live with the fact that we're not going anywhere. In fact, we're taking over this country. We already took it over, and we're going to keep it. And we're going to keep taking it over. And we are going to hold this country for the next 20, 30, 40 years. We are not going back. In the past, sure, we might have got it for a while, and you took it away from us because we were asleep at the wheel. We didn't have the internet now. We weren't as awake. There's no hiding anymore. And because there's no hiding, once we get this, once we move forward, there's no going back. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. And this is why I truly believe we are about to enter a golden age. We are about to enter the first time in American history where we're not just being led by good people who lead us into good places. We're being led into good places by good leaders, and the people are awake. That has never happened before in American history. Not to the point we're at now, where every day we can actually go get the truth. That's never happened before, guys. That's where we're headed. And yeah, they're going to kick and fight and scream, and they're going to push back, and they're going to do whatever they can. And we're seeing it. But do you notice how weak they're getting now? Do you notice how weak the attacks are? Do you notice how when they push these PSYOPs now, they're destroyed like that? People see right through them. Their greatest power was the ability to feed us lies and to get us to believe nonsense. Well, they've lost that power because now you can easily go on X and find out what's really going on in 2 minutes. That it's gone now. Trump got into power and all of a sudden YouTube's not censoring me anymore. We're not going to give up that power. The truth is getting out there now. This is why I'm so bullish about the future. It's going to get better and better and better. Candace is really trying to get you to fall back in love with her. She wrote today, since the week leading up to Charlie's death, I've had vivid dreams. They've been unceasing. I wish he were alive so I can tell him I don't doubt him anymore. It weighs heavy on my heart. I didn't see it sooner. She's talking about these texts she keeps posting without timestamps, by the way, because they're like 5-6 years old before her falling out with Charlie. About Charlie saying like they're going to probably try to take me out. She's trying to go back because she got away from this and she's losing support. She's trying to get back. It's not going to work. Tucker really trying to get in. And Tucker's followers are turning on him based on the comments. Well, let's look at it. So Tucker's about to have Massey on. Oh, the Massey people. They've been holding on for dear life. They really don't want to believe Massey's bad, even though I keep trying to show you guys. But I'm sorry. He's a tool. He's an asset. He's one of them. But he's coming on to Tucker. This is the last push to try to win his primary, get out there. Tucker's going to platform him, try to get him out there. And Tucker writes, the Iran war is bleeding America dry, and it's far worse than you think. Really? Really, Tucker? How about the fact we're now the strongest in energy we've ever been, and any country's ever been in world history? How about that? Oh, yeah, gas prices are up, but that's not going to last. That can't last. It's impossible to last with as strong as we are with our energy, because something will shift even if the strait doesn't open up. Iran's decimated. They are obliterated militarily. Something's going to happen at some point, and Trump's not in a hurry. Their economy will crash. Who cares? Europe is now obliterated financially because of what Trump has exposed and broken. China has been revealed to be a great paper tiger. Yeah, they can still do stuff, but they're nowhere near as strong as we thought they were. All this has happened because of Iran, and so somehow it's bleeding us dry. Last I heard, the official total, $50 billion we spent on Iran. Yeah, that's a lot. But that's nothing compared to the almost $1 trillion Pentagon budget we've already approved and paid for, which is in the budget. So $50 billion of that, guys, that's not even a 1/20th of that budget. So I think we're okay. We're not printing any money yet. This isn't causing inflation, because inflation happens when money's printed, not just because some prices go up. So Tucker, please tell me how this is bleeding America dry. All it's done is made us stronger on the world stage. It's made us stronger. But hey, we got to get Thomas Massey out there. But again, like the comments, he said about the comments, well, it looks like a lot of people are just very anti-Tucker at this point. Tucker Al-Qatarson, Hamassi, Candy Al-Qatari, Jihadi, MTG. Hilarious. They just released we made half the money we spent in the Middle East back on oil in 6 weeks. Mehdi Hassan says his relatives are now in love with Tucker Carlson. This is great. Everybody is not buying it anymore. It's wonderful to see. And you know they're in big trouble, because the mastermind himself behind all their narratives is crashing out right now, or today on X. He's very upset, and he had to let us all know it. You are not the people, says Alexander Dugin, mastermind behind all these PSYOPs coming through the grifters. You're not the people. You're stupid slaves on the Epstein's menu of cruel cannibal elites. You're eating your brains are. It's why you watch Euphoria, because all you perverts, disgusting civilization, no reason exists. Please die. This sounds like a great guy. Great guy. Yeah, he's directly linked to Tucker, Candace, Sean Ryan, several others. Yeah, one more for us too. Whites. They are destroyed the world of themselves. To be white means to be nihilist. It's self-hatred race. It's caused so many troubles to others and to itself. It lost the right to be something. No arguments to support their existence. You know, I have a feeling that this might be the guy that they went and visited when they all left. Was that a week or two ago? After SPLC, when Candace, Nick Fuentes, and Ian Carroll and others all bugged out of here, went overseas. They might have been meeting with their master, trying to come up with a new narrative, because this guy's sure getting outspoken, and the rest of them are freaking out. You can tell by the PSYOP they're pulling off right now. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. And Brian Cates breaks it down wonderfully what they're doing. So he says people can't see this play at this point are either dumb or merely pretending to be dumb. I made the point of my show, the foundation that allows Trump to do what he's been doing for the past 15 months, turning USA from a captured nation under control of truly international foreign crime syndicate into a free, independent, sovereign nation once more, is MAGA and the popular support he enjoys. That popular support, look at all the radical and revolutionary things it's allowed Trump and his team to do since January, not that long ago. If you're one of the people who's determined to stop Trump and reverse what he's done, get back to normal and do business as usual, what's the first thing you have to do? Where do you attack? You attack his base of support, just like I was saying. You attack MAGA and fracture or splinter the base, turn it inward, sow chaos, demoralization. What did Nick Fuentes say the other night? I'm a demoralization campaign. That's what I'm doing, guys. I'm all about demoralizing. That was Nick the other night. These people pictured below spent most of the last 15 months being clever about how they went doing this. They were only attacking Trump obliquely, tangentially, by ferociously and viciously going after the team he assembled. They'd always say, oh, he's getting such bad advice. His people up there. By the way, Steve Bannon still does this. Rich Barris, who's connected to Bannon, still does this. Because Bannon is the most clever. And he has not gone after Trump head on yet because he knows if he does, his show's over. Because his show's the most MAGA. His audience is the most MAGA. So Bannon does it very cleverly and always says Trump's getting bad advice, or he lets his people say it. While Pam was taking control of the DOJ away from the government gangsters always running from the shadows, Kash took the FBI away from the entrenched ones, while Scott was taking the Treasury away from government gangsters, Tulsi taking the intel agencies away, Bobby took HHS away, Hegseth was taking control of our military away, Christie took control of ICE and used it to defuse terrorist cell bomb in Port our midst. What were all these people below doing while that important work was being done? Well, the first real transfer of executive branch power is occurring in our lifetimes. They were trying to stop it by getting the base to turn on key members of Trump's team. This was a tough row to hoe for Trump and gang of patriots as they slowly, house by house, room by room, yard by yard, forced these people to yield control over the past 15 months. They still don't have full control yet. It's ongoing, but they have enough that the City of London conglomerate, as I've been calling it for around a year now, is growing increasingly desperate to kick Trump's base of support out from under him before he arrives at the point of no return. When he and Tulsi roll out election fraud evidence and do the great election reset, that's the point of no return. When Trump and his team show us they haven't had real elections in decades, they've been rigged and fake and gay. Most of them ain't Americans. And then he's talking about all of them here. Candace, Megan, Tucker, Bannon, Posobiec, Alex, and obviously all the others. Sean Ryan, so many others. But he's absolutely right, guys. This has been the whole PSYOP this whole time. It has been to discourage us. It's been to get us to... And listen, it worked for a little bit, but MAGA's waking up because they went too far too fast. And why did they finally go too far? It's because when Iran hit, we hit Iran, and Trump was breaking the number one proxy for City of London's money because they were control the oil flow, they control the shipping, they manipulated the prices, trillions of dollars they get through that, while also controlling the stabilization of the Middle East by controlling all the terror. Remember, number one state sponsor of terror. That Iran was the key. And as soon as we went after Iran, these people all lost their minds. And that tells you how desperate they were, because they had to break character. They had to break stride. They had to go from 5, an easy middle level where they could still kind of take hits and most people still kind of maybe trusted them, to 11 and himself into. He'll try to. PSYOP is a Bannon stooge. He's controlled by Bannon. And listen, it doesn't mean these people don't say good stuff sometimes. Bannon, PSYOP, they all say good stuff sometimes. That's, and you can share it when they do. But these people, they've already showed us who they are. They've showed us multiple times, and it's fallen away. It's fallen apart for them, and that's a great place to be. But again, just like he said, the election, guys, once this gets fixed, this is why they're holding up the Save America Act. Once the elections are fixed, it's game over. It's game over, and that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. All right, guys. Listen, I still got more. We got more to get into. A couple smaller segments coming up on Iran and Kash Patel's interview with Hannity that I want to share. But I do want to take a break, get into the chat for a minute here. I think I saw a super chat, so I want to make sure I catch that. K24 today with a $10 donation says, "You're spot on with AI. When I need research for university classes, I use ChatGPT. For anything else, I use Grok. ChatGPT talks libtard for professors perfectly." That's great. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. That's good stuff. Libtard for professors perfectly. That's wonderful. Am I glitching? Am I glitching bad, guys? That's not good. My connection looks good. YouTube must not have liked me calling out some of its peeps, some of its big money makers. If I glitch, please let me know. If the sound goes off, please let me know. I'll see what I can do. John 1353 with 5 American Fire memberships. That's awesome. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the gift, and to all the people who just got it, you'll get members lives from now on. So at least for a month. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for that, John. That is awesome. We're gonna go over the Kash Patel interview, Star Child, in just a second here. It was very interesting. Excuse me, I don't want to do that on the mic, but I need to keep my mouth wet. I talk a lot. Lots of talking over here. All right. Let's see. Hey, do I have any moderators on tonight? I'm not seeing any of them. But my CPU spoke to 100. Did it? Why would it? I don't know. My CPU is running at about 40% right now, so that would have been weird. Close the stream and reopen. Just refresh. Yeah, sometimes refreshing works. Okay. Okay, Mike's here. Okay, good. Just wondering if people are watching the chat, just in case. We haven't had too many trolls tonight, from what I've seen. That's great. But okay, let's get moving here in a second. Oh yeah, if you like what you're seeing, guys, you want more, get into the membership. You can join here on YouTube and you'll get members lives. But if you want the full experience, you want to go to the Patreon in the description. Click that link, go to the Patreon, and then you'll get into the Discord as well as all the members lives and everything else. So. Crypto Ethno says, does anyone else feel like the loonies are testing security measures currently in place to protect the admin? Oh, sure they are. Absolutely. Paul Walker says he's been spreading the word on the show. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you for that. All right, we're good. Okay. Kev says webcam uses CPU encode the video feed, reducing frame rate and resolution can help. Either works. Thanks, brother. Thank you. 5 more memberships from MSN. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That is awesome. We're getting more and more people on the memberships. That's great. That's great. We'll definitely have. I don't know if I'll get to a members live this week, but next week the members lives are going to fire up and be much more regular and excellent. So I promise you that I'm going to have a lot more time on the channel starting next week. So we'll talk more about that as I get closer, what the changes are going to look like. But it's a great time to get into the membership if you want to, because it's about to be the best it's ever been. So thank you for supporting the channel. Again, as of next week, I do go into business for myself, and this channel is going to be a major part of that. So if you guys want to be a part of this, support the channel. You will be getting more and more. The content will only get better, as right now you get me at late at night after I'm exhausted. So just wait till I'm actually energized. This channel is going to be great. So, but please hit the like, please hit the subscribe if you're new, and we'd love to have you a part of this. Oh, you guys want me to do a poll? I'll do a poll. All right, Vance or Rubio? All right, I'll do that poll. Why? You guys can answer it while I'm doing the thing. While I'm doing the next section. Okay, how's that? All right, let's see what the crowd says. Casting says, when I visit the lib chats, I promote your channel. Tell them about real news. I love that. That's great. Well, Kev, it's good to have you as a tech. I'm going to have to figure out one thing I'm going to work on next week is optimizing my PC, because this is a new PC. I haven't had time to optimize it yet. So, but yeah, starting next week, live shows starting next week will be at noon. Okay. And I still will occasionally do a night show. We'll do like an after-hours show every once in a while for fun and old time's sake. But members' lives will be stuff. We'll get into deep conversations. That's what the members' live is really about. So I can really get into stuff with people on the members' lives in a better way. All right. But the regular live show that I do right now, that will now be at noon starting next Monday. Okay. So, anyways, look forward to having you guys there. And, I'm a little nervous about the new time slot, but I actually think it's going to be a lot better for everybody. I really do. Kev, don't worry. We'll figure it out, brother. Well, I might pick your brain for sure. Okay. We need to get into this because today Kash Patel did this pretty epic interview with Sean Hannity with all kinds of interesting things in it. And I want to go through this because I think what Kash had to say is very important for those of us really looking forward to justice and really beginning to see how the wheels of justice are starting to ramp up since Todd Blanche came in and Bondi left him a fixed DOJ. It's really been ramping up, and there's a lot more coming. So let's get into this. But here's Kash Patel with Hannity, and here's him already talking about a lot of people's criticisms about the arrest.
I learned as a lead investigator on House Intel that it's not my words that are the best evidence, it's theirs. Go find the documents. So what we did was, when we walked in the door, I said, hey, this conspiracy continued. It didn't end because the documents we released under the House Intel days showed that there were individuals who are continuing the work of the Steele dossier. And I said, these documents, computer hard drives, have to exist somewhere. And this is the part that's frustrating to me too. People are saying, rightfully so, where's the accountability? Where are the arrests? We are undoing 30 years of weaponization. We are doing that while delivering record results on crime reduction in America. And we got to get it right. I learned.
Okay, do you hear what he said there? It's so good and so important. Now, I've been constantly, it's been one of my biggest pet peeves is the why no arrests? Why no arrests? And I listen, to all your guys' credit, nobody's saying it anymore. So it makes me very happy because I had to deal with that for a year. And I kept saying exactly what Kash said right now. And he had so much to deal with. They came into this incredibly disastrous bureaucracy of people who've been there for years, just undercutting them. And they never could do it. All right. They just couldn't get there, and they had to fix things first. And that's what it's been the first 15 months, was setting it all up. Well, now we're there and we're starting to see it. But Kash just said that perfectly, that 30 years of being built up is just huge. So now that they're in, they're starting to find more stuff. And this is very interesting right here. How he talks about some of the evidence they've found and how they found it.
We got to get it right. So we found that room that Dan Bongino talked about. The burn bag room.
Explain a burn bag.
It's basically a large paper bag that you use to destroy and literally shred and burn classified information. So we not only found burn bags in a room that was locked away in FBI headquarters.
And they weren't burned.
They weren't burned, but the room was also off the map. It wasn't on our blueprint. And nobody had access to it. So
how did you find it?
Well, that's what we do. That's what I do. I know that these people put it in places for us to never find. But I also know what Dan talked about and you talked about. There are a lot of good people at the FBI. Now, we got rid of a lot of bad people since Trump took over.
What percentage is gone?
Every single one of the people that weaponize law enforcement is gone.
You identify them, threw them out.
And they're terminated.
Okay, so Dan's theory, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it, was he believes that people purposely saved this information, left little crumbs in a trail, like Little Red Riding Hood, wanting you to find it. That it was saved by design by good people, special agents, you know, the rank and file, good guys that want to do good. You believe that?
I think there's a lot of truth to that, because I think the rank and file wanted the FBI to be restored to what it used to be.
See, this is something that we were not told going in. The grifter types, who we now know are grifters, and didn't necessarily know at the time. Not all of them, anyways. What were they saying when Kash was coming in? They were saying, we want to see Kash burn down the FBI, tear it down. That's the only way. It's unfixable. It's incorruptible. It's so corrupted. It's not incorruptible. It's the opposite. It's so corrupt. You got to tear it down. This is what Steve Bannon was saying. Well, Kash is now letting us know that a lot of the FBI was still a lot of good people. They were ready to do their jobs, but it was the people at the top and other bad eggs within there that were holding them back and weaponizing the FBI and making it something it wasn't. And it makes sense if you think about it. This is our number one way of getting arrests federally. Investigations, breaking up conspiracies, RICO, all that, like fixing these massive, massive crimes in America. And the FBI is the number one way to do that with the infrastructure, the experience, all that. It would have taken a long time to replace it. Well, if you're a part of that, or if you're protecting those people, then the thing you want the most is the FBI to be gone. And so you apply pressure to make them get rid of it and then complain when they don't. Well, what did Kash do? The opposite. Him and Bongino went in and reformed it, which was the plan all along. And now look what it's doing. We're seeing all kinds of incredible stuff, and they're just getting started. It's amazing. And Kash is absolutely proving to be the best. It is so funny how they just went after him so hard, and it's just fallen apart on him. But here he is giving us more insight into what's possibly coming.
And so what we have to do is...
I forgot. On that last clip, he also said there were people ahead of them who left breadcrumbs for them to uncover once they came in and start piecing things together. That has a lot of people speculating that Chris Wray might have actually been playing more of a role as a bad guy than actually being one. That's a very interesting thought, because you remember Trump appointed Chris Wray before Biden came in, and he stayed throughout the entire Biden term. That's very interesting. So yes, he oversaw the weaponization of the FBI. He saw a lot of bad stuff happen. He was a part of overseeing it, but is he the guy who left breadcrumbs? I don't know. And I'm not defending Chris Wray or anything he did, but it would be interesting if that turns out to be true, wouldn't it?
Methodically catalog all this stuff. We're triaging computer hard drives from previous directors and deputies. We're looking at the totality of information. We're finding jurisdiction. And by the way, I'm not looking at it in one jurisdiction. I've launched this investigation in multiple jurisdictions, and I can tell you that because I got the permission of the Attorney General to tell you that. And I can tell you the following too, because if it's of such importance. Russiagate 1.0, they did it again. And we found him. We found the document. And so,
did you hear that? Russiagate 1.0, he said they did it again and they got the documents. That's wild. What else is coming? That's the kind of stuff Tulsi started revealing. And here's more on the conspiracy they're unraveling.
And Then what do we discover? Hillary Clinton, and this is the reason this is important is because you have said publicly you're investigating a grand conspiracy. Would you define a grand conspiracy as the minute Donald Trump came down the escalator till today, that there has been a coordinated effort to destroy this man?
Yes, there has. And it's not me saying it. Look at the documents. Just flip the tables, Sean. Hang on a second, right? Let's say President Trump,
by the way, I got to say
unleashed his FBI to go and illegally surveil.
The Kash is when he speaks, does anybody else feel this way? I feel like Kash speaks with great conviction when he speaks. I never ever get the thought that Kash is lying. He never comes across as lying. He never comes across as deflecting. He's always very straightforward. Does anybody else notice that? Because I feel like that's one of the reasons I trust Kash, because I can just tell he cares and he means what he says. That to me, Kash Patel always gives that off. So, and you know, I'm just saying, like, I do this for a living, guys. Okay. I watch people. I catch people on lies and narratives. I'm not saying I'm perfect, because some people are just that good at lying, but Kash he never seems like he's lying to me. I'm just being honest with you.
His opponents. What would happen? The media cycle would stop. It would be the only thing that the mainstream media would be screaming for accountability on. But just like because President Trump's the one that delivered a record reduction in law enforcement under this FBI, because it was he who was attacked unlawfully, and his surrogates and his campaign, they cover it up. So I learned as a lead investigator on House Intel that it's not my words that are the best evidence, it's theirs. Go find the documents. So what we did was, when we walked in the door, I said, hey, this conspiracy continued. It didn't end, because the documents we released under the House Intel days showed that there were individuals who are continuing the work of the Steele dossier.
It's crazy. This thing is so deep. There's going to be so much to come out, and Kash is just giving us little glimpses. But and then this is for everybody worried also about the stuff with Fauci, because you know there's a deadline coming up with Fauci, a statute of limitations. But again, if it's conspiracy and certain other things, then it can't be, the statute's not going to run out. And all of this is conspiracy, as we're finding out. Here's Kash talking about that.
It began here in 2016, July, the press conference, all the way through the setup for 2017 and Trump's coming in. And explain how it continues from there.
That's the part that I got to be a little careful about. What I was saying earlier is...
No, you don't have to be careful. I know what you mean.
They ran it back again. I don't mean in 2016 and 17. I don't mean in 2021. I mean they ran it back just now.
Wow.
Explain.
In the last...
Do you hear that? They just ran it back again, this conspiracy. So again, if that's true, and he's right, that means there's no statute of limitations even close right now.
Election, in the one that just put Trump back in office, they ran the same playbook of getting regurgitated, bogus information, funded by political operatives, seeded into the intelligence community, and that's what we figured out and unlocked. And that is what I spend most of my time when it comes to the de-weaponization of government, focused on collecting those bad actors, getting grand juries, getting prosecutors, and building teams around the country, not just in one location, to look at that, because these people haven't stopped. The same actors were involved yet again. And so that, when you say grand conspiracy, I think the American public thinks one thing. When I hear it, I'm talking about the breadth of the entirety of it. And we are putting it all in one place. And that's the crux of what we're doing right now.
You hear that? That's massive. Okay. So what Kash basically just did is give us insight into why things have taken 15 months. And we got in little drops, like Tulsi dropped some stuff for us last summer. But it's the reason we haven't seen these arrests, guys, is because they're building it the right way. They're connecting all the dots. They're getting it built out. So when they go for it, it's done. He just said they're taking this huge thing and they're putting it all into one place. They're going to get them all at once. That's what he's saying, because it's going to be on conspiracy. It's like in, The Dark Knight, when he's like, Rico, got him. And then he takes all the crooks off the streets at the same time. That's what they're doing. That's what he's building right now. And that's something that you have to do perfect. You got to build it perfect. It takes time. And I believe they're taking a lot of time, because not only do they have to get it perfect, they probably keep uncovering more and more people who are involved. What Kash just said, and by the way, if he wasn't telling the truth right now, he'd be a moron, because he's been in there 15 months. He has every way to back out at this point. Well, they just didn't have it. We didn't find it. That's what he would be saying. You don't double down and make more promises if you're not going to fulfill them. But instead, what Kash is doing is staying consistent, as he's done from the beginning. And that tells me they're really onto it. And this is going to confirm all the John Solomon reporting, all the Tulsi Gabbard evidence that's been released, everything. This is going to get wild. And guess what? You know what he didn't say? This is also very telling, because there's a lot of people who don't like Bondi. But you know what you don't hear from these people at all? You don't hear any excuses made for the last 15 months. You don't hear any, well, we made some mistakes or we were slowed down. No, he just said, we're building it. We're clearing it out, which tells me that Bondi did her job. Okay, she did her job. She was there to clean things up. She was there to rebuild. And yeah, in public, she made some dumb statements, whatever. But we're not getting any excuses from these people. We're just getting, this is what we've been working on. And that tells me Bondi was good for them. Okay, that's what I'm saying. And so I personally, that reaffirms to me just what I've actually thought about Bondi this whole time. Now, changing gears a little bit, Kash gives a little bit of insight into how China has been messing with us. This is actually very interesting as well.
Why do they want ranch land, farmland, and land near our military installation if they're not trying to spy on us?
Sean, that's just it. That's what they're doing. If you look back at the last year, this FBI has arrested 47% more Chinese espionage actors, to include people that they have co-opted in every branch of the United States military. We are indicting and arresting at least multiple people a month for stealing secrets, providing classified information back to mainland China, and we are imprisoning them, including U.S. Navy sailors. You saw we did to the individual who was just charged in Delta Force.
Right.
And it's not just connected to China, but it's also Russia and other entities as well. But that's how they get their tentacles across the U.S. government enterprise. And so what we're doing is seeking out those bad actors wherever they are, including within the United States government.
Okay, this is very interesting on China, because, for years, China's been like the big bad. This is the one we need to worry about the most. This is what Steve Bannon's always talking about. Well, he just said we've caught them all and we're weeding them all out. So you know what that tells me? Just like China, we found out their military is weaker. We found out their economy is much weaker. They're just much weaker in general than what we thought. Well, you know what this tells me too? This tells me that China, all their power, all their infiltration was only happening because it was allowed. Because if Kash is right and they're finding that it's this easy for them to weed them out and they're just finding them all, that tells me the only reason they're there is because they weren't dealt with, which means they knew they were there and they were allowed to be there. So again, this tells you China's not that powerful. It's just that we were propping them up. Our government was propping them up. We were allowing them to be in here. So just wild stuff that keeps coming out in this. And so here's what a little bit of insight into what the FBI has been doing that nobody's talked about.
Protecting another kid or another community. And I can tell the American public that just look at the month of December alone last year. We stopped 4 terrorist attacks in 4 weeks during the holidays. 4.
Slow down a second.
That's huge.
Most Americans don't know that.
Yeah, everything from the pumpkin tape plot all the way through the attacks that were going to happen in Texas, Florida, and New York. And we stopped them all. This FBI.
When you say terror attack, you mean a real attack, a terrorist organization stopped it.
Full stop. Full stop.
That's got to give you a lot of personal job satisfaction and then scare the hell out of you about what else may be out there.
It's a two-edged sword, right? Like, thank God that this FBI is on mission doing it. And, you know, we put it out as much as we can because the work of this FBI should be known to the American public and it should be advertised, their wins, the sleepless nights that the agents, the intel analysts, and professional staff put in, time away from their families. You know,
So 4 attacks, that's huge. You know what that tells me as well? That this 15 months, one of the reasons Trump waited to do this Iran thing was I think he tested it last summer and set them back just enough so that we could build up this offensive and get everything in place. Part of getting everything in place, to me, is that Kash and the DOJ were cleaning out the sleeper cells. And think about this. He just said they stopped 4 terrorist attacks, and we went into Iran, and we've had just, other than that, like the shooting in Austin and maybe a stabbing, there's been no sleeper cells unleashed. Think about that. We were always told that if we attacked Iran or any of those countries, we would have massive terrorist attacks here, and it didn't happen. This tells me that they have completely got their foot or got their they got their eyes on everything, and they know exactly how to protect us right now. And Trump made sure of that before he went in Iran. Guys, this administration is operating at such a high level that it frustrates people sometimes because they do everything right, which means sometimes it's slower. And yet, but what we're finding out more and more as things keep progressing and we get a little hindsight, that they're actually just doing everything almost, as perfect as you can do it. They're doing, this is brilliant work. Brilliant. And when you stop and think and you realize, oh, it is funny that didn't happen. Oh, it is weird how this turned out this way. Oh yeah, this didn't happen. We've been lied to so much. Now people get so focused on gas prices, and I get it. Gas prices suck. It's a struggle when that gets expensive. It's one of the big expenses for most people. When the economy hasn't fully turned around yet, when there's a little frustration like that, I get it. I do. Most people aren't going to pay attention, but for those of us who are, we don't have any excuse to be upset when you actually stop and think about it, because they're doing incredible things. And just an example of what they did. Kash put this out today. The FBI today nabbed more than 350 child sex abuse offenders. That's real pedos going to prison. They located more than 200 child victims. This administration is going after the pedos, which it's funny that everybody keeps labeling them pedo, but they are the ones actually cleaning it out, saving all the kids trafficked under the Biden administration, so on and so forth. The DOJ, they're moving forward. Fulton County has a new federal subpoena for election worker contracts from a federal grand jury. So this is ramping up, just like Kash said. Stuff is happening. It's all moving forward, and we're not waiting for nothing, guys. It's being built. It's coming together. I'm getting very excited just thinking about it. And then even today in D.C., the police union confirmed termination papers served to numerous high-ranking top brass command staff officials within Metro Police Department, standing firmly by the decision. Termination is tied directly to investigation into deliberate manipulation of crime data. That is crazy. So this administration is doing all kinds of stuff. They are doing all kinds of stuff. They are fighting corruption. They're fighting crime at every level that they can. And a lot of it's behind the scenes. But guys, the nation's getting safer. We're moving forward. There's less murders. Murders are down 20% 1 year. Crime overall, violent crime in the nation is the lowest it's been in 100 years, all because of 1 year of this. And meanwhile, they've also been cleaning up, the FBI cleaning up the DOJ and building cases. You better believe Tulsi Gabbard is hiding behind the scenes, and they're terrified of her and all the intelligence she's gathering. This, my friend, we're getting everything we voted for. I'm just going to say that right now. I believe 100% it's coming. And what Kash just revealed on Hannity just makes me feel even better about it. So if you feel better about that too, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thank you guys for that, for supporting the channel that way. I do have another small section on Iran coming up. Let's take a second in the chat. We got updates on Iran, big updates, just not a whole lot of them. I'm watching this wild poll where Vance and Rubio are literally tied at 164 votes. That's crazy. Be sure to vote in the poll. I'd love to see how this turns out, but 50-50, that's nuts. I've never seen a poll this close before. That's that's crazy on my channel. I got to tell you, it's going to be Vance. It's Vance's to lose. Let me put it that way. If he runs, he and Rubio are best friends. Rubio's already said he's not going to run against him. And so if Vance says yes, he will be the shoo-in and Rubio will be his VP. That's how it's going to go. I'm just telling you right now. The only way Vance is not the nominee is if he decides to step down to raise his kids for a few years before coming back. So that's – but anyways, I'll be honest. I prefer Vance, but not by a whole lot. It's close for me. I'd say I'm 60-40 Vance, but I do think Vance is I think Vance will be a better president, and Rubio is better to be able to roam free and knock stuff out. That's kind of how I see it. I think Vance is a better communicator with the people, but we'll see. We'll see if I'm proven right. I think I will be, but. Rubio was great at the press conference today. I'll definitely give you that. Feisty Granny with the $2 super chat says, funny Tucker interview with Amico. I mean, it was great, wasn't it? Had me dying. So good. So good. I think I saw somebody else tag me, but the chat's gone because they make the chat disappear after a while. If it takes me a bit. Somebody on Rumble is complaining about ads. I'm sorry. If there's ads during my live stream on Rumble, it's Rumble's fault, not mine. I don't have ads running here during the stream on YouTube. So that's a Rumble thing. I don't know if I can turn it off. I'll see if I can. Will we get a Republican governor in California? The only way is if Hilton and what's-his-face get to go against each other. That's the only way. Well, it's not the only way, but the only other way is that if the front runner for the Democrats in the general, it has like a major scandal or something. But California's not ready to go red. It's just not. They're far too corrupt. Far too corrupt. Enforcer guys, I don't even know who that is, Steve. I don't know who that is if they're making bad guesses. Sorry. Oh, poll was, well, it's, okay. It says who's going to win. Oh, well, you're guessing then. Okay. I'll do another one another time when it says who do you want, I guess. Ellen says, I think it was funny Biden tried to regime change him, instead got regime change for Kamala. I mean, the 2024 election is still one of the funniest things that's like ever happened, honestly, when you look back, as crazy as it was. It was just so wild. Guys, if you did write me something and I missed it, please try again. Rumdog says, when this whole case drops, they should make a primetime miniseries of it, show America what's been happening, and be the best reality TV ever. It would. It'd be up there with like the OJ trial. But will they do it? Probably not. They don't want this public. They don't want everybody to see it. Yeah, Porter threw boiling mashed potatoes on her husband, and now she brags about being a single mom. Pretty sick. Pretty sick woman, all I gotta say. Sleestack says this administration isn't slow. It's doing things at breakneck speed. I completely agree with you. They've pulled off more in 15 months, 16 months now than any administration I think has done in 16 years. Or 16 years, 8 years. But still, I mean, people complain. That was my point, is people complain. Do I miss KJP? Oh, God. Please don't. Actually, it was Jen Psaki who had circled back. KJP just didn't know anything. She was crazy. Tucker reminds you of Blippi? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right, let me get to Iran. And we're going to have to finish up tonight because it's getting late, folks, and I got to work tomorrow at 7 a.m. Okay. Praying Medics post tonight. Actually, it's Trump post tonight. Based on the request of Pakistan and other countries, the tremendous military success we've had during the campaign against country of Iran, additionally, the fact great progress has been made toward a complete and final agreement. Interesting word choice. With Iran, we have mutually agreed that while the blockade will remain in full force and effect, Project Freedom will be paused for a short period of time to see if this will be finalized. Did Trump just get it done? I don't know, but this Project Freedom started yesterday. It lasted for like 35 hours. That's nothing. And we had them attack UAE yesterday. And we didn't strike back. But now Trump's announcing that Pakistan has requested we stop doing the Project Freedom, which is escorting ships through Strait, because there's a complete and final agreement on the table. Guys, I think this is very interesting. And here's why. If Trump didn't actually think something might happen, why would he halt this escort service they were pulling through the Hormuz to keep it moving? It was being very successful. It showed that we actually controlled the strait. Is Iran finally capitulating, or are they playing more games? I don't know, but I gotta say that this tells me Trump knows something, because it only, like I said, it didn't even last 2 days. So there's going to be something interesting going on tomorrow. We're either going to get some news of major progress, or we might see the bombs start falling again. That's where I think we're close to. So, but again, if this was this wasn't real, we want to have stopped that project already from happening. So something's going on, and this is also very mysterious because there was no other news surrounding this. Trump just came out, announced it, and disappeared, and we don't have anything else. Okay, so very, very interesting. Usually there's context, but we didn't have any context. Now, Trump had this to say on Hugh Hewitt yesterday, so listen to this.
So, look, if they had guns, which they don't have, if they had guns, guns were sent and other people took those guns. If they had guns, they would fight back. I'm convinced of that. But, you can't have an unarmed population against people with AK-47s and stand there, even if you have 250,000 people. So, you started off by asking me, would I like to see them? And I'm very torn on it because they lost 42,000 people in the first 2 weeks. I don't really want to see that. They have to have guns. And I think they're getting some guns. As soon as they have guns,
I don't know why he's pausing.
They'll fight like as good as anybody there is. So,
did you hear what he said at the end there? He said, let me pull it up. They have to have guns, and I think they're getting some. Did Trump finally get the people guns? I mean, I've been following this closely for, the whole 8-9 weeks, whatever it's been. And I've had my finger on the pulse pretty good. I got to say, this is the first time I'm kind of like, what's happening? I mean, we have them so cornered. They have no way out. We're going to win no matter what. I've already talked about that. My opinion hasn't changed on that. But did Trump say this last night with Hugh Hewitt and basically put Iran on blast? Like, hey, guess what, guys? Not only are we now taking the strait and we're proving it to you, but also I'm letting you know that we're getting your people guns. Is that what just happened? Because it's really wild that we just stopped that Project Freedom 35 hours after it started. Really wild, especially because it was successful and Trump was very excited about it. Iran was very mad about it. It was working. It was working. So this is the only kind of context we have right now, though, as to what he's talking about and his words. You know, Trump likes to message. He likes to drop little hints in his messages sometimes, even when he's being kind of who knows. But the fact he says complete and final agreement, I don't know. That's the kind of thing I'm watching. I'm like, what is happening? This is fascinating, and I can't wait to see how this plays out. Now, this is an interesting take. It says President Trump didn't show notable reaction to the regime's attacks on UAE. That's how he is. He doesn't take rage bait. And honestly, that's even more terrifying for the regime. They know Trump won't let their aggression slide unnoticed. Right now, he's letting them think they've won and act tough. Everyone knows who the real boss is. At the same time, he's getting UAE time to reposition, realign. Time to fix their previous pro-regime image and shift towards Israel and Iranian people instead. I hope Emiratis don't waste this opportunity to put as much distance as possible between themselves and Qatar's Saudi approach. What he says right here is very interesting, though. It was more terrifying for the regime that Trump didn't do anything yesterday. I mean, was that the thing? They thought they could get him to act and he didn't. And again, we're just guessing here, but and then Rubio today, he did the press conference for Carolyn Leavitt, who just had her baby and is on maternity leave. He had some really interesting things to say. And right here, he's making the case for why we went after Iran. And I think it's some of the best, most clear, well thought out reasons I've heard about the nuclear effect.
$1 a gallon or $8 a gallon, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it because they have a nuclear weapon.
Sorry, it's a little quiet. Let me see if I have any room here. I have a little bit.
Or $8 a gallon, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it because they have a nuclear weapon. And a nuclear armed Iran could do whatever the hell they want with the Straits, and there's nothing anyone would be able to do about it. And that's one of the many reasons, apart from like the massive loss of life in a nuclear strike, why Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. I mean, so this is an example of if they had a nuclear weapon, they closed the Straits and they would tell the world, what are you going to do about it? We have a nuclear weapon. We can attack you with it. That's the world none of us want to leave behind. It won't happen under this president's watch, but some future president and future, and the future Americans will have to deal with this. So just one more example of why these guys can never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon.
What a great point. I mean, if they got nukes, you couldn't stop them from doing anything. And so that was just really well thought out. And then he's here saying, this is him putting his full weight behind President Trump's ability to wage this operation. And this is calling out to the Republican Senate, like, don't mess with the president. Don't mess with what we're doing. Listen to this.
Does the White House believe that these votes coming up in Congress are a moot point then?
Look, guys, I love talking about this topic. It's about the War Powers Act. Yeah. Okay, I love it. I was hoping somebody would ask. All right, hold on. No, boy, you let me answer. I got to answer the question. Okay, and I love it. I'll tell you why I love it. Because even as a senator, I said something. The War Powers Act is unconstitutional, 100%. Now, this is not the position of me, not the position of the President of the United States now. This is the position of every single president that has occupied this position since the day that law passed. It's completely unconstitutional. Now, we comply with it in terms of like notification because we want to preserve good relations with Congress, right? And we do that.
You hear what he just said? The only reason we comply with it is to keep a good relationship with Congress. I love it. And he says this as a former senator. So good.
But even as a senator, I would say that the War Powers Act is 100% unconstitutional. And look, I know some of you, whatever you want to say, but this is not this president's position. That has been the position of every single presidential administration since the day that law passes. An infringement on the president's constitutional powers. We don't acknowledge the law as constitutional. Nonetheless, we comply with elements of it for purposes of maintaining good relations with Congress, and we want them to be involved, and we want them to be informed. I have gone on Capitol Hill, 4 times this year for all senators and all House members and Intel Committee and Gang of 8. We want them to be involved in this, but I want to be clear on the point of the War Powers Act. It's unconstitutional, and every president and every administration has taken that position.
He just put them on blast that we don't have to listen to you guys when it comes to this stuff. That's that's pretty awesome. I love it. And again, it tells me that they just have this thing fully in control, and they're like, you know what? It also is telling them though that, hey, deep state, any of you guys connected to deep state, being controlled, uniparty, you're not going to stop us. That's messaging right there, and he just did it in a brilliant way. And now finally, he calls out the UN, and he makes an excellent point here, which we'll talk about when he's done.
That can solve global problems. What is the purpose of the UN? The UN was supposed to be a place where you could peacefully resolve global conflict. Right now, you have a country who is unlawfully, criminally, and illegally taking possession of an international waterway and blowing up commercial vessels and putting mines in the water. I don't know if people appreciate like how outrageous this is, how unacceptable it is that any country would fire and try to sink commercial vessels or put mines in the water. Both of these things are illegal. And so we're going to take it to the UN, and we're going to give it another chance to be a forum in which that can solve.
Do you hear so basically what he's saying is that how is the UN in all of this not condemning Iran? It doesn't mean they have to get involved militarily or anything like that, which they can't. They don't really have much to do. But how do they not? And I thought that was such a brilliant point. Like, this is like the easy thing for the UN to do is make a condemnation. But the fact that they won't even, because they are attacking civilian ships, UN will condemn Israel all day. It'll condemn the US all day, but it won't condemn Iran for this stuff. So again, Rubio just putting it out there that the UN is a joke. And this whole globalist cabal, this creation, this interconnected globalization, Europe-led stuff, it's a joke. And this is another way to put it on blast. And the way he said it was so well articulated that people are going to listen to that and say, what are they doing? What do they even exist for? And again, it brings us back to the point. The war in Iran is not just about Iran. It never was. And what it's doing is it's killing multiple birds with one stone. Exposing China for who they really are, how weak they really are, breaking the oil cartels so that oil flows freely and we'll get to see energy flow like it's never flown before and at prices that are market price, much cheaper because there's so much of it. It's breaking the city of London's hold, cutting off all their financial stuff. It's getting us out of NATO by exposing how weak they are. It's exposing UN. It's just doing so much. And when this is over, we're going to have a whole new world just because of what Trump and them are doing in Iran. It's going to be a whole new world. And then what they've started here is just going to ramp up because there'll be more resources, more attention to it. And I'm telling you, once people really start feeling the effects of all this, the cheaper energy, the dominance, the U.S. dominance, once all that starts really landing after Iran's done, my God, Trump's going to go down as one of the most popular presidents ever because it's going to wake up so many people in the next couple of years. We're in the middle of the fight right now, the middle of arguably the most intense part of the fight. Doesn't mean there won't be other stuff. Don't get me wrong. They're going to try everything they can. But for now, this is the most intense part of the fight we've been in. And so for everybody who's stayed out of the PSYOPs, who's stayed above it, who's been able to see clearly, who is actually taken the time to understand what Iran's really all about, and who's stuck with this president, you guys are going to be feeling really good here really soon. I feel so strong about that. I'm even going to guarantee it. So, all right. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. I got a couple quick short things I want to hit, and then I'm going to do some talking in the chat, and then we're going to call it a night. But I wanted to show you guys some of the things coming out that are really exciting. Trump said this yesterday, and somehow I missed it. You know, he passed an executive order this term that said 10 regulations go for every new one. Well, Trump says we're getting rid of 129 regulations for every new one. That's huge. That is absolutely massive. 129 to 1. They are just gutting the regulations in this country. We're gonna really, this economy, it can't move fast enough to keep up with this stuff. This is stuff that once they move it, it takes 6 to 18 months to really get into the economy. So just imagine how much this deregulated, lesser taxed economy, cheaper energy economy is going to be thriving in 6 to 18 months from now. It's going to be huge. 2028, we're going to be booming heading into the election. There's no way the Democrats can beat us in that environment. Here's an example of tariffs working. Capital goods are at a record-breaking share of all goods imports. Share of all goods imports. Capital goods. Sorry, I'm reading that wrong. I think it's supposed to be exports because here's the story. Exports hit record highs in March. America's making productive capital goods. The capital goods purchases. We're importing that to make stuff to export. Okay, that's what it was about. So we're bringing it all in. Orders are going up, and we're exporting what we're making from these things. Massive, okay? Record highs in March. So that's from Peter Navarro, who works in the administration. Tariffs are working, guys. The economy is roaring back. Look at this hiring rate. 3.5%, highest in almost 2 years. Strong hiring in transportation, warehousing. That's goods, friends. Utilities and professional business services, plus 165 in hospitality. This is the sign the economy's coming back. This is people moving, creating, and selling stuff. That's what this is. That is excellent news. White-collar jobs are going down because of AI, but people actually building stuff, people actually making business, serving people, that's coming back big time, and it's going to continue to come back. So, it says a war in Iran is likely to halt progress, but any sign of hiring pickup is welcome news after the hiring recession a couple of years. Just wait till Iran's over. We're going to be booming. Okay, I already covered that one. And then finally, there's been a PSYOP going around, a big old lie saying that mass deportations have ceased. Well, Tom Homan did an interview today with DHS officials and industry personnel that said mass deportations are coming. You ain't seen shit yet, he said. So guys, Homan is letting us know that the ramp up is about to begin again. And I got to tell you, it hasn't stopped. They've just been quieter about it because they've been working with local law enforcement in different ways to keep it quieter. And the Iran war, since the left is all up in arms about that, they've turned their attention away. So it's all PSYOPs. They're all trying to discourage us at every opportunity. But the truth is we're seeing exactly what we want to see. And guys, we're just going to keep winning. All right, please hit the like. Please hit the subscribe if you don't mind. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Hit the bell, too, the notification bell. And, just do all the stuff I tell you to do because I'm me. No, you don't have to do anything. I'm just being nice. Just asking for a little help here, a little free help. Tell the algo you love me. Anyways, but if you do really want to support the channel, get in the description, click the link to Patreon, get a free month. And after that, if you want to stay, the minimum is $5 a month to get Discord access and members' lives. So I do appreciate the support, guys. Thank you so much for the work I do here. All right, let me see. Yeah, 100,000 new agents coming need training too. Absolutely. That's a big deal. All right, let me see, make sure I'm not missing anything here. I don't think I missed any more super chats tonight. Nope. Thank you for everybody who did super chat tonight or donate memberships. Every dollar helps, guys. Listen, I am going into business for myself in a week. And so, yeah, I've never asked for money. I just make opportunities for you guys to, do what you want to do to support the channel. And so I do appreciate every dollar, and it humbles me that you guys are willing to support what I do. It really does. But I'm very I'm blessed by you guys. Let's see. Nikki asked, what times does the stream usually begin? Well, right now it usually begins 11 o'clock, but I'm trying. Well, next week I'll be doing it at 12 noon. I'm moving to the daytime, so it's going to be great. Ellen says, I told someone the other day Trump's done so much good, he's probably not going to get credit for 400 or 500 years later when historians look back and say, holy crap. I think it'll take 3 to 5 years for him to start really being appreciated. I don't think it'll take forever. But once the what's it called? Once the economy really takes off, people will start waking up quick. Yeah, they really will. Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. MFN says, I'm very proud of MAGA for holding the line through the doom and gloom. Trump is Hitler, Putin, PSYOPs, all the BS noise. Hold fast and hold strong. Amen. Amen. All right, guys. Well, you're the best. I'm going to call it a night because it's late. I still got to work all day tomorrow and do another show tomorrow night. So, yeah, I'm on Eastern time. It's very late here. But listen, you guys are the best. I really appreciate you guys, especially the members and the supporters. You guys are the best. Castellum says he's going to sign up. This is one of the best communities and favorite streamers. Thank you so much. Listen, you guys will love it in the chat, in the Discord if you get in there. It is a great community. All right, ending the poll. Vance has won a squeaker, 51% to 49%, barely beating Marco Rubio. What a close poll. That's awesome. I love it. I love that we have this very healthy debate in our party right now. That's great. All right, let's pray and get out of here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So, Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless everybody watching. Thank you, God, for them and their support. And in so many ways, I just appreciate them so much, and I pray that they get something out of this from me. And so, Lord, I pray that I get to be a blessing to them as well. And Jesus, I just ask for protection over President Trump, wisdom and boldness as always, God. Cover him in it and cover our country. Bless our country. Pray that everything they set out to do gets accomplished. Everything we voted for gets accomplished and more. That we're even shocked by how good it goes. That's what my prayer is. So that for once, because it's so rare that we actually get more and get blown away our expectations, because people get so used to being disappointed they think their expectations they're afraid to even have them. I don't want that this time, Lord. I want you to blow our minds, and I think you're already doing that, and I just ask for more. And so we thank you for that. Bless our country, that we just can leave a better country to the following generations. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, love you guys. Had another super chat come in. One of the many with the $20 super chat says, 129 regulation cuts per regulation has me wanting the one thing I never thought I would, more regulation in auto industry. Well, I'm sure you'll get it at some point. They love their regulations. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is very generous of you. I greatly appreciate it. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. Be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Headlines screaming like a siren at night. Red and blue shouting, nobody's right. Smoke in the streets, truth under attack. Everybody's loud, nobody's got facts. Feeds keep scrolling, nerves stay tight. Matchsticks flicked in the dead of night. They sell fear, cheap package the lies, while the clock keeps ticking, empires on fire. Can't sit quiet while the world's on edge. Lines in the sand, standing on the ledge. No script, no leash, no polish, quiet. Just a voice in the dark and a spark to the wire. This is